there are two pieces that we've really covered and talked about today, and one is brand and the other is offer. For me, they go hand in hand. They go hand in hand because the more elements that you can pay attention to that is rooted in your brand, the foundation of why somebody should trust you or listen to you or engage with you, is the essence of you being able to convert faster. You can sell at a higher price point, and it allows you to sell more one-to-many quicker, in addition to one-to-one. I'm going to pull apart just the homepage of this, and because it is one of the brands that I've built in the last 2 years that I really, truly love. And every piece of what you see is curated. And when I say curated, there was a strategy before we started the process. On the other side of that camera, or on the other side of that moment, I am standing in front of Lynn. I am not taking the picture. I have our photographers and our video team that is standing with Lynn, and we are somewhere in Florida. And we have designed the essence of who she is, actually who she is. She has spent her entire world and her entire life living on someone else's terms, and she was second, third, and fifth. When Lynn came to her very first night school, she came and she acquired some type of time. She made an investment that allowed her to, I want to say have a conversation, but it was just a conversation. And I asked her a question. I said, why are you spending this time building a business that is for something else and you are not even it? Aren't you the expert? You've been doing this a long time. And Lynn looked at me and she really thought I was crazy because she was like, I don't know, I'm not the expert. I really don't have much to say. I don't think I can. No one wants to listen to me. And the truth is that she had been so focused and trapped by her kind of Wall Street corporate financial world that she really never really had an avenue to let the world know who she was. Lynn is one of the greatest humans that I have ever walked the face of the earth. She is so full of life, and her mother, who was turning 100, I think she's 99, matches her energy. It is insane. They are the best. And what I said to Lynn is that not only does the world need to know who you are, but they need to be able to touch and feel who you are the second that they stumble upon anything that you have. The very thing that you can control right now is your photography, your photos, your image, your images. Now again, depending on what type of device you're using to capture images, you may be at either an advantage or disadvantage. I'm not going to say Android or iPhone because I see some people are sensitive. But the truth of the matter is that I know for a fact that you can take the device that is in your hand and create this. So Lynn is so full of life that even though she's going to be talking about money, there is no need for her to be anything more than excited at who she is. Lynn is constantly laughing. She is constantly in the moment, and she is that woman who is just timeless. Now we're going to scroll a little bit because here what you see is you see bright colors. You see a pop of color on her lips, and you see her in an expression. Can we scroll? Isai. Now I'm just going to move down for a moment because I want to show you another quick view. Now this is a dummy site. This is not her live site, but I'm showing you this dummy site because I just want to show you the framework of each image. To the next space. So this is one of my favorite because Lynn, her last name is Kitchen. And so we decided to play on the fact that her last name is Kitchen and we are cooking up the Cafe of Dreams. And a lot of what she rolls into or through has to do with bringing your energy, effort back into the kitchen and cooking it up. And what she does is she cooks up money strategies for people, but more importantly, Lynn is the type of woman where the conversation is going to happen around the table. She is the woman who's going to have a really great a bottle of Malbec or a cab, and she's going to pour wine for everybody and sit and talk in its rawest form until she literally just can't talk anymore. She is warm and energetic, and everything about her, her journey dictates that she knows that the woman who is of a certain age is feeling like it's too late for them and there's no more life to be had. And her number one goal on her journey is to show that woman that, hey, I know that we're this age, but baby, we got a lot of life to live. One of the cool things that we started having her do was having her mom watches night school, which is so much fun. Her mom watches night school, and it's one of my favorite experiences in the last 2 years, because I remember when Lynn was on one of her strategy calls and she was like, Tiffany, mom is in the background and she just wants to meet you. And then she was like, you taught me about story. Now, here's what's really cool. Lynn decided to start bringing her mom in her 90s into these trainings on Facebook and into other places and start teaching on story. Now, Lynn has interviewed and knows Jack Canfield, Lisa, like every big person you could ever name in personal development. Lynn has a documentary that features them all that she's known for, but she is behind the scene. And in this is all about her coming front. So there's 3 things that I want to walk you through in terms of brand. Now, this is not her brand guide, but I'm going to use elements on this site just to show you what could be. Images need to be bright, bright color. Go outside or face a window. Go outside or face a window. Taking images that are inside of a bedroom, inside of a place where there's no lighting is no good. Face the window, not be behind the window. So to the left and right of Lynn, it looks like she's in a studio, but Lynn is actually she's in a very big room that just has huge windows, and we've turned her to the side, and all of that is natural light. None of that is studio lighting. All of it is natural light, so is the photo in front of it. Again, same thing. She has really soft makeup, but what you see is she has a super big pop of color. Sir?
Quick, what do you mean by behind the window?
So if the window's here, your desk is here, and you put the camera there. The window's behind you. No good. So you literally physically take your desk and turn it around, or go take your chair and sit on the other side of your desk. Okay. So that the window is in front of you. Not to the side, in front. Okay. A couple of other things. She has props, right? So one of the things that you could do right now is you could bring in props into your world, and you could bring in props in a simple way that allow people to know who you are, what you're about, what temperature it is, give them a flavor for how you roll. Now, when I say props, I don't mean that they have to be gimmicks or gimmicky. Lynn actually owned this, okay? She literally owns this. In the same breath, you'll see like a prop of ours, like one of the things we give clients is shot glasses. Yes, we could give them tumblers, and of course, that would be great for them to have water, but if they're taking a step in a direction that allows them to grow, I'm excited. So this is a celebration, right? Even if they didn't do anything more than put fancy orange juice in it or sparkling something, it's really about the principle versus, hey, let's drink. Because the idea of let's drink or get drunk is not fun, and it's not part of, culturally, it doesn't belong to me, because we don't find fun in getting drunk. There's no interest in drinking too much. And people in the Caribbean, they don't really drink to get drunk, and they also don't drink in bad times or in sorrow. It's all about fun and friendship and fellowship and connection. So they want to stay sober. Does that make sense? Like they want to be in this very middle tone where it's neutral. So this is really the principle, okay? Now, there are sometimes here, there happens to be one, but this is because I was really going to open this bottle. There is a bottle of whiskey that is here. This is an element. If you were to look at videos and pictures that we have, it is very common that you're going to find me with some form of something, because I truly enjoy a really good, well-made bourbon and whiskey. I really, truly enjoy it. The same way people enjoy,
ice cream.
Maybe ice cream, or things that are teas or coffees. I really truly enjoy the hints and the notes and the taste and the full flavor and all that other bougie stuff that people talk about. I actually enjoy it.
Hence why you saw all of the liquor on our cabinets when you were in the office.
Yes, for sure.
All of the props that were there on,
Correct.
on our bookshelf.
Correct, yes. So it's an element. You just need one. What's one element? Write it down really quickly. What's an element that you can include? What is something that will always be present? There's one of 5 things that will always be present inside of an element for a Do the Damn Thing brand. And I say do the damn thing because that is very different for me than a Tiffany Largie brand. and I'll get into that in a moment. So in this picture, bright lights, lips, etc. She happens to have a prop. She's wearing a hat. We could call it the outfit, the whole thing, but I just want an element. There's a hat in there. There's a woman wearing a hat that looks like a chef's hat. Okay. One of the things you'll see in Clifford's, if I get an opportunity, I'll pull up Clifford's podcast cover because I love it. In Clifford's, which is another brand that we've built, Clifford is wearing his cowboy hat. It is so good. He is wearing the hat. He is tilting the hat. It's not a prop. It is how he lives his life. So I'm not asking you to make something up. That's not the key of this, because if you make something up, it's no fun. But it's the easiest way to distinguish yourself really, really quickly. I don't know if I want to go any further. I mean, we can scroll real quick. Oh, I think that this paper is done. Okay, great. Stop. So let me go back up to the first photo. Okay, great. So in this particular picture, there is the only other thing that I wanted to show you was a slight variation in jewelry, the jewelry that she chose. They're fun and they're elegant, but they also are in a level of class. She's not luxury, she's elegance. Does everybody understand the difference? It's not luxury, it's elegance. Every piece that you either add or don't have on you tells a story. Video or photography or pictures are the two easiest way to clean up the conversation very fast if you want to shift, make an image to the market, make it different, whatever it might be. While you've been here, you should have taken 20, 30 amazing pictures of yourself and videos. I have been looking to stalk and see who of these attendees who have been sharing, one, their journey, but two, you guys look amazing. Three, and if it's not the whole self, maybe it's a part of self. This is an amazing platform, not just here, but this entire experience for you to be creating content for yourself or create that picture, This picture now lives in so many different things, but this is what I meant by a statement picture. This is an anchor picture. This is a great example. The other one is another anchor picture, and that's why I showed you both of them. Okay, I'm going to stop here. Questions? Any questions? The other element of the brand is if you were to ask yourself, okay, great, if I were going to attach a type of music to it, what type of music would you attach to Lynn? What genre, what era?
I was going to say opera.
Opera, okay. Frank Sinatra. Jazz, okay. Anybody else feel Sank? Yeah. Yeah, Sank, that one. That one.
Ella Fitzgerald.
That's exactly what I thought of.
Peggy Lee, yeah, someone classy.
Okay, you see how he said it and everybody was like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so it's congruent. So now, like if we had Lil Wayne playing, be a little bit out there. No, listen, don't hate. So, but if Lil Wayne was playing, not saying that she couldn't like it, but it would be incongruent.
We're not turned down for that.
Turned down for what? So in this, you ask yourself, okay, great. I also think of pearls. I think of fine china and tea, right? I'm throwing out elements. I think of also picnics. I think of poodles.
Yeah, I'm stuck with picnics. How do you see picnics?
Think of you've seen that picture, think of the 50s where they had the perfect picnic basket and they're wearing heels and there's like 2 glasses of wine and then there's a bottle and they're like, Jan, I love you so much. Do you know? Like blanket is there and it's like this, and it's just like this. Yes, that. She just went like this. Yes, it's that. Exactly. If you can put it into words. But do you see how we're all in unison? I can throw out more words. She's probably going to have a French manicure. okay? And I can go on and on and on about these elements, but the key though is that it's congruent. So I threw in Lil Wayne and we talked about Ella Fitzgerald because now we're going to sound. We've gone to sight, sound. If you were to think of a texture, you might think of, give me a texture you think of when you think of this.
Velvet and cashmere.
Cashmere. Wool. Yep. Instantly. You're like, yep, that makes sense. Okay? Look at what she's wearing. Do you see how? So these are all pieces that we've curated. So I've handpicked all of these pieces specifically because I want to make sure that when we see her, we're connected to her, we are in tune with who she is as a human, and more importantly, everything that's in the frame is communicating the exact same thing. Everything, including the wool. I want you to think about yourself. What's in your closet right now? What's in your drawers? What did you wear today? What did you wear yesterday? What's the fabric that you have on right now? What does it say about you? Believe it or not, the key to making an offer, especially when you feel like, man, but I don't have all these things ready, is having what you do have ready. So Lynn made her first offer without a website and without any of those pieces. And what's so cool about it is that she decided to take her knowledge of financial planning and take it into offering women on how to better and up their money game on the finance side, on the investment side, specifically investment side. I loved hearing her numbers the other day. Just the other day, I don't remember where, but I had the luxury of listening to her numbers. And on her first round, she got to Facebook. She used Facebook in this day and age. And she got on Facebook, and she had never in her life been on Facebook doing a video before this year. I also want to paint that picture. Never in her life. She got to Facebook, kept telling her story. She had 100 people register for her training. She had Matt, was it like 45 people who were live, or she had 100 people, the numbers were so close to yours, like 100 people who registered, like 47 or so that were live, 39 when she gave her offer, and 12 people bought. And we were so excited for her. But it was not because she had a great website, and it wasn't because of all the other things, it was because she tightened up her brand and what she could control. But then more importantly, she started talking. Okay, I just want to paint the picture. She's Lynn Kitchen, you can totally go stalk her. You're gonna see her and her mom doing some cool ass video. And her mom's like 90 something, and you're just like, man, I have brand new goals in my life when you watch her. She's everything. Okay, so let me take you to this next place. I'm gonna walk you through an offer. So I have about 10 minutes, and I'm gonna walk you through really quickly the beginnings of an offer, and I'm gonna finish and wrap it up tomorrow morning. Okay, is that fair? Okay, so I'm going to do the first half of it. If we can bring up, I'm going to show you a PDF. I'm going to show you our offer. And the reason why is because this particular offer, just like quite a few of our offers, they don't have a web page. And my logic in showing it to you is because everybody can do that offer, do an offer right now simply by either opening up Canva, heading to Microsoft Word and going to PowerPoint, respectively, and or Google Docs. Like, you can do this right now. This is not crazy. Now, there are many pages to this particular offer, but I'm gonna walk you through just the mechanics of a handful of them because I want it to be clear as to what you're looking at. And Isai is just gonna walk with me through each page. So I'm gonna break down a couple of things. Number one, on your offer, you should be taking notes really, really quickly because I'm going to give you the mechanics. You need a statement from yourself to your customer. What's the statement? My statement from me to you is, hey, we've got a whole empire, not an empire, a whole empire to build. So the reason why it says a whole empire is because my avatar understands those words. We have a whole empire to build, right? Yes, you do. Yes, we do. Because we're in this together. Let's go. Okay, so go for it. Okay, so now we have these other components. They're optional pages. But let me give you the mechanics of it. It is a simple way for me to communicate thought number one. So think of thought number one, I want you to have 3 thoughts as to why they want to take this offer. This one says, an exclusive opportunity to intimately build and get help with the assets. 100%, it's so much easier to get to the next level when you aren't doing it alone. Okay, next slide. Okay, so seriously, another statement photo. So real talks. Now this is for, I'll leave this alone. So this is another thought. Okay, so remember I said 3 thoughts. 3 thoughts. This is another thought. Let's change the world together, one story found at a time. First, let's help you define it. What do you want and how the hell do you get there? Okay, next. Now, building a bigger business. It isn't about strategy alone, it's about creativity. Say, next thought. You were meant to be more than just a CEO. This is an image. So you have some picture, either yourself with a client or a customer on their own. Yourself with your customer or the customer by themselves. Choose one of those 3. Just choose one and insert it. This happens to be us at an intensive. And this is slightly different because this particular intensive, they're hunkered down for multiple days together in one place. And there's Dodd way back in the day. Okay, next picture. Great. Build your own stage. So we probably have 4 or 5, you only need 3. Okay, so these are other anchor statements. You are meant to impact lives. Together, we're going to take on the world. Okay, next. So this is another concept. So I said you need 3. We probably have more than 3. I would imagine somewhere between 5 and 7. The higher the price point, the more that you want to have. Okay, so get the strategy you need to dominate in your market. Take your positioning as the expert to the new level and build a foundation that's stronger. All right, so this happens to be us in Hong Kong. Okay, next. Perfect. Your relentless partnership. We are so excited to have you take a peek at what's inside. Another anchor statement, and more importantly, another image. Okay, great, next. We give your current brand a facelift and your brand get cleaned up. Next page. Okay, these are a handful of the brands that we've built. Okay, they tell a story in each and every one of these. So now, let's say I was presenting this virtually or I was standing somewhere, and I'm using this as an example, but I can decide to just use these images to tell the story, right? I don't have to have, well, this is Rowena and the 35 bullet points on Rowena. Okay, this is ways that you can shorten the journey or lengthen the journey. We just decided not to inundate with all the things we accomplished and all the things we did, because for us, for what this is for, the images speak for themselves and we can speak to the images because we're never handing off the offer and saying here. So there's always some form of a relationship, right? And we can talk to each one of these people or each one of these brands, and down there it's about the Do the Damn Thing brand. Okay, great, next. All right, awesome. So the next thing here that you see here is this is the beginning of us listing out what they're going to tackle. Okay, this is what they're tackling, right? So here we have, all right, so signature event. These are the things, the specific items that they are going to accomplish, that we're going to get done together, specific. It's different than a journey of us saying, hey, well, these things are going to happen in an experience. We, in this particular offer, we're focused on assets, on the person getting the things done that they haven't gotten done. And so instead of it feeling like it's almost like this is the focus, and all of the strategy and all of the relationship or coaching, if you would, is given to that person just from having these assets, which is very different. And the reason why it's focused like that is because we know that our avatar has already been in all the coaching programs, or they have already invested here, there, and there, and they've done these things and they haven't gotten the result. So for us, we're like, okay, great. We're going to build your signature event. We're going to make sure you have a lead magnet. Like, this is what we're doing. That's why you're hanging out with us, to get the things done, whatever they are. Okay, so I don't know what this list is for you, but there are 9 things on this list. I would love for you to have a minimum of 5. Ideally, you'll have 7. What's happening? So this is specific to the brand assets. Next. Okay, more brand assets. So if you can't fit everything on one page, do not overwhelm the page by trying to cram it all in. Do yourself and the person a favor by segmenting it. All you need to do is put more in front of the additional things that you're going to be doing. Okay? And this here, it's very specific. Now, each thing that you're going to do is an individual item. Now, this says social media templates. Now, we could have just said social media templates and call it a day, but this is social media templates. Header, that's individual. These are 2 different things, even though they're both for social media. Okay? Podcast launch templates, podcast cover, custom items as needed. Why? Because some of these people say, oh, I have this crazy thing that I'm going to be doing. And then our team actually does it for them. And then we hand it back to them because we have our own in-house team. So that's what that means. Okay. For everything else, we are building and then our team is checking and make sure that it's been done right. All right. Next. Okay. And then this is the mastermind experience. Head. And I'm not sure if this is the template or not. So the next. Okay, great, perfect. So it tells them what their journey is going to be like. What is their journey like? Okay, month 1, the assessment. Month 2, the brand build. Month 3, we're going to focus on building the audience. Number 4, we're going to make the nurture. So the reason why you see this like this is because we, in this template, this is one of the templates we give. So like in month 3, let's say you decided for your customer that there's some form of testing that needs to happen we don't want them to wait 9 months to begin to sell. Like that's just not how we do it. So in the beginning, everything is really focused on us doing the Band-Aid version of what we can do so that they can get out the door and start putting things into the world in action and moving and testing. And then we're fixing and creating along the way. Because we want them to be in action, but we also want to know, okay, great, did you execute this thing? Did it work? Do people like the message? Does this photo work? You know, things like that. Okay. Next. Okay, so then it finishes off, and then you create this path. Now, month 9 is left for us because we are evaluating what's happening, what has happened, the person's experience, etc. And it allows you to make sure that you've put your person on a growth path. They know what's happening from here to there, and it doesn't matter what those moments look like. All right, so for right this moment, I'm going to stop here. This gives you a good framework for what an offer could be. Now, this is the definition of a sexy offer. This is a sexy offer.
I thought that was a sexy offer. I was just saying.